Hey, okay, we're live. Sorry, I had to authorize this program within the Facebook group. It wouldn't let me post there, and ultimately, it will only let me post as my personal account. So this is coming from me, Casey Von Stein, into the Backup Bootcamp group. But it's Miss Freddie. I'm the same. So hi, good morning. It's been a little bit since I went live in this group because I took the summer off from doing monthly lives, and then I just was feeling inspired lately to do this. I had last month I was focusing on getting all of those new videos filmed, all the updates made to the Backup Bootcamp, and so now I can just like breathe a little bit and bring some more of the fun, totally optional content. So that's a good reminder. This is not required for Backup Bootcamp. This is not going to teach you how to do the Backup Bootcamp. This is not even today about photo organizing. This is just completely optional content. That's just a bonus for being in the course. And I do think today's content is like relevant to organizing. And so if you've already done bootcamp, you've done your photos and your videos, and then this is just like, well, now how do we take it a step further and do files too? I posted this as an option in the polls, and you guys, there were like 150 people or something that voted for this one. So I hope a few of you catch this live so you can ask questions and engage here. It's always easier for me when I go live when people ask questions because it's not so awkward. But if you ask questions, I'll be able to see them on the side. I'll answer them as we go. If you have taken my Mac Basics course, this lesson or content might feel repetitive because there is a whole lesson in the Mac Basics course about organizing digital files. And that has like a video tutorial to show you these concepts that I'm going to talk about today. But you don't have to be in the Mac Basics course to get this content because I'm going to be sharing it right here today. But if you do want to see the video like demonstrations, then that is found in the Mac Basics course. And remember, with your Backup Bootcamp purchase, you have a $10 off code that works on any of my other courses. So if Mac Basics is something that you want to add to your catalog, make sure you use the $10 off code. Okay, let's get started. I want to talk about tips for organizing digital files. Now, I am a certified professional photo organizer, and I organize photos for people all over the world. But one of the most frequently asked questions that I get is, well, what do I do with my files? How I've got them everywhere. What do I do? So I put together a few tips on how I handle mine. This is just like what has worked for me and therefore could work for you. All right, I've got my notes off on the side. Let me make sure I can see them. So my first advice, my first tip is to take a minute to think about the types of digital files that are coming into your life. Most likely, they're probably scattered right on the desktop of your computer. They're probably in your downloads folder. They might be in your documents folder. They might be on hard drives or Dropbox or somewhere else. But just think about what types of digital files are coming into your life and see if you can categorize them. So I'll give some examples. In my life, I have files coming in for my business. That's like a whole side thing. Maybe I have files for my house. Maybe I have files for school, for the kids. Maybe I have recipes saved here and there. Maybe I have printables. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I am obsessed with Amy Robison's party packs. And every month I get a new one. That is a PDF form that I save to my computer. And so those are digital files that are coming into my life. Let's see, I wrote them down. I wrote down some of my categories. But anyway, my point is just think about everything that's coming in and see if there are logical categories that they fall into. And shoot for like 6 to 8. We're not going crazy. You don't want to get down really, really specific. I want you to try to keep these high-level categories. Just try to think of like, what's the theme to these things coming into your life for the high-level category. So here are my categories. Career. I can add some more details. So career is one of my files, and actually what's in there, or it's one of my folders, and the sub files in that folder, career, are like my old resumes over the years, interview prep materials that I used for my corporate job. It's not my current stuff, but it's sort of that like career interviewing resume sort of realm of work. Some of my old reviews, honestly, for my job, but maybe I would need to reference them again. I don't know. But that stuff is filed in a career folder. Then I have a folder called digital art. And in there, I have artwork that I've purchased. Like I bought some things off Etsy to frame and put on my daughter's wall, like some art of flamingos. I also have some digital art that I bought around the holidays to frame and put on put on a canvas to decorate our house. So those are things that I like bought off Etsy, and I got the digital file. I save that in artwork or digital art. I also put fonts in there if it was something I purchased. That might not apply to everyone because I purchase fonts to use for design for my business. Another category I have is events. So in this one, I put like invitations that I've made for my kids' birthday parties in the past, or I don't know, different invitation. I made like a rehearsal dinner invitation for my brother last year. I've got that stuff saved there. In the events folder, I also have my party packs that I get monthly from Amy. This is not a promo for her party packs, but you guys, I love them so much. They are, actually I have one right here that I can reach to. So we're going to go down this little tangent. So every month she sends this PDF that has the cutest little files that I print them at FedEx, Kinko's, and this is a country fair theme one, and we're going to do it this weekend. I'm going to have my little pie eating contest with whipped cream pies, like little tiny pies for my kids. Oh my gosh, they're going to freak out. Anyway, every month she does a different theme. This month is actually Halloween, but I didn't get around to doing the September one, so that is why I just showed you the country fair. It's so fun. Anyway, that's totally not related to this, but it's $10 a month. You guys should go do them because they're so much fun for the whole family. Okay, so that's my events folder. And then I have a family folder with a subfolder for each person, including the dog. So if I have files, like maybe my kids have to go through some medical testing and I get the results and I want to file it there, or maybe they get like a report from school or something and can file it there as well. Then I have one for the dog because he also has his vaccination records and all that stuff. And then I have another folder category that's called personal. And this is just totally miscellaneous documents that I couldn't really think of a place to put them. So it's things like my CPR certificate when I got certified. I used to be a fitness instructor, very short-lived. But I have a CPR certificate. I saved it there. Some things from like our house, like our home inspection, and kind of just random documents. I put them in a folder called personal. Then I have a folder called printables. These are things that mostly I downloaded from Pinterest, like chore charts or coloring pages or things that I've just accumulated over the years. Often I'll delete them after I print them because I don't need to keep it. But if it is something cute that I want to reference again, like a chore chart or something, then I'll put it in my printables folder. Then I have a recipes folder with different meal plans or things that I've purchased off the internet or different recipes that I've written down. I have them saved in the recipes folder. I have a spiritual folder where I put things like certain prayers that are really meaningful. I did a Bible study that had downloads that I had to do every week, and so I saved those files in there in case I ever want to go back and reference them. And then I have a workouts folder. Like I said, it was a short-lived part of my life, but I was a fitness instructor, and I have workouts that like choreography that I've purchased, and I saved that in my workouts folder. Or then if I bought any like workout plans downloadable off the internet, I would save that in there as well. So those are my personal categories. Those are not the only categories, the right categories. You're going to have to just think about the files that come into your life and make it work for you. But like I said, career, digital art, events, family, personal, printables, recipes, spiritual, workouts. Okay, I said try to do 6 to 8 and I have 9. So I'd say keep it under 10 just so you don't have like tons of folders to go through. So my tip there though is keep those folders high level. Then you can get more granular in the subfolder level. So when I was talking about my events folder, in there I have invitations. I have a subfolder for party packs. So you can give structure at the subfolder level rather than having like your top level be like 30 long, you can put them all under subfolders. So I'd say try to keep it under 10 categories and then file things under there accordingly. Another example, under my printables folder, I used to have a subscription to Red and Happy's Color Happy. I don't know if you've heard of that. And every month you would get 4 or 5 pages of cute design coloring pages. So I would download them to my computer. And then in my printables folder, I had a subfolder called Color Happy, and I would just keep adding to that. So try to figure out what's coming into your life, what is going to repeatedly come into your life, and give it a category and a subfolder if it's necessary. So once you've identified what the categories are, all you do is go make those folders. If you're on a Mac or a PC, it's the same thing. There's a documents folder on your computer, and in there you can go put your categories, put your subfolders if you need them, and then go find the files wherever they are, and you just drag them in to the folders that they go into. Now, you've seen me drag things from folder to folder repeatedly in boot camp. You know I like to put 2 side-by-side windows. So on both Mac and PC, you can go up to the top and choose like open in a new window. Then you have 2 windows side by side. One would be all your categories in the documents folder, and one would be wherever all of the fluff and junk is saved, all disorganized. And you just drag it into the folders that they go into. And once you're done with that, everything is housed in these nice folders, and you have the structure for you going forward. You can easily then add more when new things come into your life. You can create new categories or new subfolders if you need to. If new things come into your life, you take on like a new volunteer position at church or something like that, you can make a new folder for that as that new stuff comes into your life. But you have the groundwork there because you're going to spend a couple hours maybe sitting and filing everything into the place that it goes into. Then you're done. You have it. So then what do you do with it? You can back it up in the same methods that I showed you with Backup Bootcamp with your photos and videos. So you have your nice documents folder with your categories and your subfolders. You can copy the highest level folder and paste it to Dropbox if that is what you're using for your backup. You can tell Amazon to watch that folder if Amazon's what you're using for your backup. The awesome thing about Amazon is, remember, you can tell it to watch a folder on your computer, and anytime you make additions to it, it adds them to the cloud automatically. So you already have it watching your photo library from Bootcamp. You can have it also watch your documents folder. And then you would see those items at the Amazon Drive side on the website or the Amazon Drive app on your phone. So that is a nice way to do backup because you're already familiar with the process. And it's just like using the storage you're already paying for. Now, one thing about documents going to Amazon is that is not part of the free unlimited photo storage. Documents are not photo files, and therefore Amazon will count that towards your paid storage plan. But most likely you have a paid storage plan because you signed up to do videos. And so the documents and videos count in the same way. That's the process. But before I open it up for questions, I want to talk about how I handle syncing all of my documents across my computers here in my office. So I use Dropbox for that. I use Dropbox for all of my business files, all of my personal files, and I also have my photo library saved there. The awesome thing about Dropbox and OneDrive behaves in the same way if you're on a PC. You can smart or selective sync or smart sync your contents. So I have this computer here. This is my main computer. I have Dropbox on there, and I have pretty much all my Dropbox folders turned on with selective sync. So they all show up right on the computer in Finder. This computer I'm talking to you from is my laptop, and it has very little storage space. So I don't want 100% of my Dropbox items to be downloaded to that computer. I don't have enough space for that. So I can use Smart Sync to have them be visible on this computer, but not taking up space on this computer. I also can use Selective Sync to make things not even be visible on this computer. Like I don't need on this computer any of my personal documents. I use this computer to do my work stuff, so I only have some of my work files shown. I also have old client photos from my photography business backed up in Dropbox all the way back to 2010 when I started. I don't ever need that stuff to show up on this computer. It's just a backup. So I have turned all those folders off. So I use Dropbox to sync my life. Like I spent a whole day at the start of this year. It was a whole day, pretty much. Well, half day maybe. Getting everything into a Casey's Documents folder on Dropbox. So instead of using the Documents folder that I mentioned earlier on your PC or your Mac, I use Dropbox as my hub. And so in Dropbox, it says Casey's Documents. That is my hub, and I put everything there. Because I have this computer, a computer right there, I need to be able to access my documents more universally, and so I don't have a single computer's documents folder as my hub. I have Dropbox as my hub. And then just because it makes me nervous to only have one copy of things, because Dropbox, even though it's visible on all the computers, it's a sync, so it's one copy. I then copy it to an external hard drive that's up on a shelf up there. Like once a year, I'll just plug it in and copy everything from Dropbox to the hard drive just to have a backup somewhere. But I'm crazy about backup. You guys already know that. So that's how I handle Dropbox syncing my life across computers, and I can't say enough good things about it. It was a lot of work to get everything merged there and organized there, but my Dropbox is so helpful now because I can just work on a project here. Like I'm writing lessons for my mentorship group right now. I can start writing here, and then when my husband needs to take a call in this office, I can open the same file via Dropbox on my laptop and just walk out of the office and keep working on it. It's so nice to be able to have my stuff synced via Dropbox in that way. All right, guys, that was oh my gosh, I talked way longer than I thought. Has that really been 17 minutes? Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to talk for like 10 minutes, but I have a lot to say clearly about organizing digital files. In summary, just spend some time thinking about what your high-level categories are for your life. Write them down and then make the folders and start bringing everything into it. Once you have it all consolidated and all organized, then worry about the backup if you want to do that. Okay, feel free to ask some questions in the comment section here. I can show them. I learned this yesterday in my family yearbooks group. I can show them here so that when you guys watch the replay, you know what the question is I'm answering. So Jill asked, how much does Dropbox cost you? It cost me $120 a year for 2 terabytes of storage space. That's like their basic plan. And they're constantly saying you should upgrade to this business plan or this or that. And I don't do it. I just have the 2 terabyte, $120 a year plan. That is plenty for me to store everything, including all those client backups I was talking about. So that's their basic level plan. Karen said it's all on Dropbox, not Amazon Drive. Yes, Amazon Drive. I do use Amazon Drive. I have all my photos and videos backed up there. That's my second cloud backup. And I also have my music backed up there in Amazon Drive. But I don't have my documents just because Dropbox was my primary. I've been using Dropbox maybe 10 or 11 years, and I already had my stuff there in the cloud, and so I didn't start with Amazon. But you would only need one or the other. You don't need to do both. So if you're already using Amazon, stick with Amazon. I will say Amazon Sync doesn't work as well as Dropbox Sync. So Sync meaning you get to choose what is visible on all of your computers. I notice Sync gets a little finicky with Amazon if you're using it on multiple computers. With Amazon Sync, I would only recommend syncing on one computer. Which that might improve in the future, but I saw it get a little bit weird. Like I'd try to delete something on one computer, and since it was also synced on this computer, it would just reappear because it was re-uploading. It was just, the sync on Amazon got a little finicky when you're using multiple computers to sync. Kelly said, Dropbox sounds great. What happens when you don't have internet? Then you can't access your files unless you have stored them locally. So Dropbox's Smart Sync allows you to either store things online only or locally. And you can control that at an item or a folder level. You can say, I want this locally. So if I know that I'm going to be going to a cabin with no Wi-Fi, but I want to work on this folder of business documents, I'm writing a course and I want to be able to write there, I will right click on that Dropbox folder and say local. I'll wait for it all to download, and then I can take it with me off of Wi-Fi, and I'll be able to access those documents locally. When I get back onto Wi-Fi, the changes will sync back up to a Dropbox, so they would then be reflected on all my other computers. But you do have to kind of plan ahead, like what will I need saved locally if I'm going to be away from internet. Now on this one, since it's my main computer, I have most of it saved locally because I want it to be quickly accessible. With Dropbox, if you have things not saved locally, when you double click it to open, you have to wait a little bit while it downloads it locally and then it opens. And I don't want to have to wait when I know I'm kind of always accessing stuff here. So I have most of my Dropbox content saved locally on this computer, but my laptop is the one that has very limited space. And so I don't have it much of anything saved locally. Joe said that's what I did at first for my MacBook in Finder, but she ran out of room fast. So then she removed it and can still access it, but through Dropbox.com. Yes. So Smart Sync and Selective Sync are two different things with Dropbox. Smart Sync is a fairly new feature, I'd say within the last year, 2 years at most. Selective Sync has always been there. Selective Sync is when you control whether or not a folder is visible at all on your computer. And if you turn off Selective Sync for a folder, you can go see that content. You can see the contents at Dropbox.com or the app on your phone anytime. You're not deleting things from Dropbox. You're just saying, yes or no, is this visible on my computer? And then Smart Sync now, which is a newer feature, is where you're saying, okay, it's visible on my computer, but is it taking up space on my computer? So you can now, if you ran out of space and you unselected things to free up space, you might be able to reselect them now that Smart Sync is available, and it wouldn't take up space on your computer anymore. So that's how those two work. Okay. Any other questions about files? Oh, I was going to say one other thing. If you are dealing with a lot of duplicate files in the same way you were dealing with duplicate photos, the duplicate finders that I used in Backup Bootcamp will work on files too. So if you're on a PC and you use Duplicate Cleaner Pro, in Bootcamp, I'm showing you how to run it in image mode, but one of the other modes is for files. So you can flip it to that mode and run it, and it will analyze like the file size and the file name and the dates, I think, to determine if things are duplicates and clean it up that way if you're dealing with a lot of duplicate files. Photo Sweeper, the Mac one that I recommend, has a toggle, like a section for duplicate files. I haven't experimented with it much because I don't have a lot of duplicate files, but since it's called Photo Sweeper, it's primarily geared toward photo cleanup. So I don't think it's like the specialty of the program, but before you go buy another duplicate finder just for documents, try it. Like, you already have Photo Sweeper, so give it a try in that duplicate files mode and see what it returns for you. Since you already have it, give it a try. But there are other, if you go to Google and Google duplicate file removers or duplicate file identifiers or something, you'll find out there are a lot of different options for Mac. And I don't have experience with them because I haven't tested them out. So just start with Photo Sweeper since you already have it and see if it does what you need. Any other questions? I still have a few minutes. I can answer more. If you have questions about Backup Bootcamp, I can answer those. If you have questions about my other courses, I can answer those. Like I said, my Mac Basics course has a video, like it's a bonus lesson of me doing the creating my categories and dragging my files out of my downloads folder and my desktop into my categories. If you do need a video demonstration of what I've talked about today, that is in the Mac Basics course. But you guys can do it with the information that I've given you today. You just need to sit down and devote the time to it. I will say I underestimated. I thought it was like the first week in January. I was in the organizing mood. I had just gotten this brand new computer and I was like, this is the time to get my stuff all organized in Dropbox. And so it took me, I'd like to say half a day. And I thought it was going to take me maybe just like an hour or two. Let's see. Alex said, what's the incentive of saving in iCloud and also Amazon Cloud? If you're talking about files, there is iCloud Drive on your Mac that would back things up to iCloud automatically if you have it turned on. And then you could also put it in Amazon. Then if you're talking about photos, actually the answer is the same for photos or files. The advantage is iCloud is one backup. So if iCloud goes out, which I have seen clients whose iCloud stopped working, no notice, Apple couldn't help them get things back. So you don't want to put all your eggs in the iCloud basket, just as you don't want to put all your eggs in another basket. You need to be diversified in case something corrupts with your iCloud account. You don't want to lose everything. So you'd have to have a copy in Amazon. iCloud goes bad, it's okay. You've got Amazon. Or if you only want to have one cloud, that's fine. But then have an external hard drive here and maybe a copy on the computer too. I just want you to have more than one copy. They don't have to be 2 cloud copies. It could be 2 local copies and 1 cloud copy. I just want you to have more than one. Karen said, I have both a PC and a MacBook. Would Dropbox sync for both? It totally does. Totally does. I have a really cheap refurbished PC laptop that I used to film the Backup Bootcamp tutorials that maybe some of you saw. And I needed to access, I was filming the videos on the PC and I needed to send them to my Mac where I was doing all the course editing and the coursework. And I used Dropbox for that. I would record on the PC, save it into Dropbox, and it would appear right here on this computer so I could do all the editing and uploading it to the course website. It worked seamlessly. That's one of the things I love about Dropbox is it works on all iPhones, all Android phones, all PCs, all Macs, totally seamlessly. Dropbox is a file management company. I say this in boot camp. So they're good at this, like making sure the files open on Mac, PC, everything. That's what they do. They're not a photo management company, which is why they don't have the features that Amazon does, like facial recognition and keyword searching and that kind of stuff. They're a file management company, but I use it for both. I put my photo files up there too. All right, guys. I forgot what I have planned for our live. I was going to do one in November, I think, about photo gifts, maybe. What was I going to do it about? Check my planner. I planned out these lives in January for the whole year, and so now I don't remember what I said I was going to do. I was going to do using your photos to make a photo calendar, as a gift for the end of the year. I can still do that if you guys want. Using your photos to make a calendar for 2021. I can do that, or else I can do one of the other topics that I put in the polls in the group. But I'll plan to go live towards the start of November so that if I do talk about calendars or other photo gifts, then you have time to take advantage of the Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales and all that stuff that's happening at the end of November. Yeah, can't believe it's already going to be getting into the holiday season. But I'm kind of ready for 2020 to end. I feel like people will agree with that. Okay. Any other questions? I got another minute till I'm going to close it. Thanks for coming live. Those of you who came live, I will save this replay to the group in case you joined late and you want to jump in and see what I was talking about at the beginning. Or if you want to come and access it again when you're actually sitting down to do the organizing work. It will be saved here for you. I'm also going to email it out. There will be a link to YouTube. I'll email this out so you can save it in your email, and that is for people who aren't here on Facebook to watch these, so then they can still take advantage of the information. I haven't been saving these lives to the course website because there is already so much video content on the Backup Bootcamp website. There's like 4 hours of videos, which you only watch half. You watch like Mac or PC, or you only watch Amazon or Dropbox. You pick your own. You don't watch all 4 hours, but there's so much content already saved there. I feel like Bootcamp is already overwhelming enough, and so I don't want to keep adding these monthly videos there. So when you get the email, save it. Also, you can go in this group, you can search by media, and you'll be able to see all my lives that I've done in the past. There's like a tab at the top of the group, I think that's called media, and you can see all the videos. So there isn't a way to find these old lives on the course website, but if you're in this Facebook group, you can kind of see them all in the videos section. To go back in time and watch old ones if you want. And then if you've been in the course for a while, just keep saving those emails so you have them to reference back. But yeah, I just don't want to add more to the Backup Bootcamp website because it's already kind of overwhelming. There's just so many videos there. I don't want to just keep adding all these lives to bog down the website or further overwhelm people. Okay, guys, thank you for coming. Oh, I didn't scroll down. Okay, good. It doesn't look like there's more questions. All right. Have a good Friday. Thanks for coming, and I will see you guys next month. Bye.